Hey, this is Steve from Bleak Mill. Today we're showing you some early gameplay from our upcoming narrative FPS, Industria 2. In this scene, Nora discovers a group of Stasi agents in an old mine shaft.
What the hell are we waiting for? Well, when you gotta go, you gotta go. There you are.
No way. The Stasi have made it to Nordwald.
Good job we have these disruptors with us.
She can choose to engage directly and risk being overwhelmed, or she can observe her environment and use it to her advantage. The tripod in the centre of the room wards off against nearby Atlas robots, but only whilst active.
Okay, let's hope this thing works. Shit, they're coming!
So we're making a new game, and we can finally talk about it, which is a super big relief. It's Industria 2, the sequel to the first game we did and released 2 years ago, some kind of Half-Life 2 inspired a narrative first-person shooter. And yeah, it's the sequel to it. And when you're seeing this, it's already been announced in the Future Games Row, which is nuts. But right now, as I'm recording this, we are still working towards this announcement. So yeah, we're like producing the trailer, we're making the shop sites working, Steam, GOG and Epic, you know, writing all the texts and, you know, talking with our publisher, making sure the logo is nice and the key art is reflecting the game. So yeah, we're just in the middle of these super exciting but also a bit tiring processes. But yeah, they're super important, you know, especially for us indies, where we are really dependent on these wish lists to be visible on Steam.
So one of the main elements we want to focus on for Industria 2 is replayability. And what that means for us is we're just going to basically remake the whole entire AI system. And we're going to make something called a task-based AI. So basically what that means is we can give an enemy a certain task when the game starts. That could be interact with a computer terminal, that could be look out the window or just walk down a corridor. Whatever they're doing, they can be busy doing that. And then when the player interjects or some event happens in the game, we can change their behavior in a task-based manner. So perhaps an AI is walking down a corridor and then they hear the player and then they want to go investigate. Or maybe they see the player and they think, okay, I'm going to go attack them. Or perhaps they take a more defensive approach and think, actually I just want to take some cover here and call in some friends. Whatever the case may be in that situation, what this is going to culminate in is basically some fluid encounter design, and perhaps the second time you play that same encounter it's going to behave a little bit different. Maybe your friend had a completely different experience, or maybe the Let's Play you're watching acted out completely different to how you experienced it. And all these things are going to really help to make the game feel a lot more fluid, fresh, and just generally a bit more playful.
With indie game projects, it's actually not that common to include audio from the very beginning of the project. But with Industria 2, we are in the very privileged position to be able to include audio in the project's DNA from the very start. That not only means that we are able to improve on a lot of technical aspects of the game, but as we are trying to tell a story with Industria 2, we are able to enhance a lot of storytelling elements in the game very early on. One of our many goals is to getting you closer to our main character Nora and her perception of the world of Industria 2. If you, for example, listen closely to our announcement trailer, you can hear a first iteration of our breathing system.
So we wanted to cut back on that a little bit and take advantage of Unreal Engine's control rig. So all of our characters are being rigged and animated directly in Engine, which is great for cinematic scenes or any animations where the character needs to interact with a specific part of the environment. We don't have to guess where they should be anymore or export a portion of the map and bring that into Blender and then line it up. We'd probably have to reline it up once we brought it back into Unreal. We can just drop our character into the level and see exactly what they need to interact with. Everything looks exactly like it will when you play it. All the props, all the set pieces, the textures, the lighting. It's really cool. The other thing that Control Rig lets us do is build more procedural control rigs for our characters so that we can actually easily share our rigs that we've already built with other characters. Even if those other characters have longer limbs, shorter limbs, extra limbs, or additional things hanging off of them like cables or anything like that. So that is awesome, and that lets us iterate and change things more quickly, which for a small team is always a plus.
Alright, that was the first devlog. I hope you liked it, and I would really appreciate if you would go over on Steam and wishlist the thing. This would help us a lot. But that's future music for me, because I'm just sitting here in the office one day before the announcement. So yeah, it's a crazy time.